Hello there, and welcome. Now, following on from a previous video on a Class D amplifier I did about 2 weeks ago, I'm going to do one on this one here, this board. Now, this board supposedly produces 6 times 100 watts output, and I don't think it will do, because if we look at the data sheet which I've got on my phone, I don't know if you can see that, but it's chips they use are stereo output chips, TDA 7498L, and they are Class D amplifier chips, and they are really tiny, and I know that because I had to change free on a board that was blown up. So to produce a lot of power in such a small size is quite incredible, but it is Class D, of course, very high efficiency. But if we look at the actual specifications, I need a better pointer. The actual specifications says 80 watts plus 80 watts with a power, output power, THD 10% into 6 ohms, which is a bit of an odd impedance to specify. That's at 32 volts, and I should run this on 37, which is its absolute maximum, because that's the way it's going to be designed. And what else does it say? 70 plus 70 output at 10% THD into 8 ohms. Okay, so there's no mention of 4 ohms, sadly, but I'm going to try on 4 ohms as well, and we'll see what it produces and how bad the distortion is and things like that. So let's get on with the test. And what I've done is, as I said, I'm on a 37 volt supply, because that's the absolute maximum voltage rating for the chips I use, and they have got over voltage protection and over current protection and over everything protection, earthquake protection, plague and pestilence protection, whatever. But anyway, usual setup, signal going in from signal generator, 1 kilohertz, and I'm only testing one channel, I don't need to test all of them, and that will go into, first of all, an 8 ohm dummy load. We'll do it on 8 ohms first of all. And what else will I be doing? I will be measuring it on the scope over there, and also on the audio analyzer at the top. So if I focus on the scope and turn on the signal generator, we have a sine wave which looks fairly clean, and I think we ought to crank it up now and see what power we get, because the HP audio analyzer is set to read watts at the moment into 8 ohms, and the moment with that, as I've got it set now, it's reading 36 watts. So let's just crank it up till we get a bit of distortion, and I would say that is where you're gonna, distortion is creeping in. We go up to the audio analyzer, we have 65 watts of output power. Okay, that's fine. That's can't remember what it said in the in here. Okay, on this on the specifications here, it says 70 watts at 10% THD. So we go over to THD and we're getting 1.7% THD. Well, I'm not going to crank it up to 10% THD. There's no point in doing that. But as you can see, at 65 watts, was it? 1.7%. It's not too bad, is it? Not too bad. I don't think you'd hear that if you were listening. If I turn the signal down a bit, it drops immediately. And what power is this then? Let's check the power. 18.08 special. So that's 26 watts. And it's gone down in distortion to 0.3%. So it's not too bad. I mean, it's not as good as a class AB amplifier. And I think the specifications said the best you'd get would be 0.1%. So, and I think a lot depends on the design of the low pass filter in these amplifier boards, as how well they're constructed, the capacitors, inductors, because this is a very high frequency signal. I can't explain Class D to anybody. I can only barely understand it myself, but it's a differential output which is clocking away at something like 300 kilohertz. Then it goes through a low pass filter, and the pulse width's modulated 300 kilohertz is then you filter off the 300 kilohertz, you're left with the sine wave, if that makes any sense. But I'm not the best person for explaining Class D. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to reconfigure all this, and I'm going to try it on 4 ohms and see what it thinks of 4 ohms. So it's now been reconfigured for 4 ohms. I've got my normal 8 ohm load there with those two, and I've also connected the other 8 ohm load across in this maze of croc clips and whatever. So it's a 4 ohm load now. So we'll go over to the scope and see what happens when I crank the signal up again. And at the moment on the audio analyzer with that signal I'm getting 28 watts. So let's go up in power and see what we get. Okay, because it's a bit unstable there. Yes, it doesn't like, I don't think it likes 4 ohms basically, which is fair enough. It's rated, the chip is rated to 6 ohms. So that's the absolute maximum you're going to get out of it. When I go up to the audio analyzer, it's a bit disappointing. We're only reading 53 watts, so it obviously can't cope very well with a 4 ohm load, because I'm getting less watts at 4 ohms than I was at 8. But don't think there's an easy way around that, because this project really is designed to be driving 4 ohm speakers, but 50 odd watts into some big 15-inch speakers would probably be very loud anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Board's getting a little bit warm, got a tiny little fan on it, but that will be changed when it goes into the box it's going in. It would have plenty of airflow from fans, and of course if you've got long speaker leads you might have a bit of resistance in those, but I was thinking you'd get maybe more likely to get up to nearer 6 ohms with long speaker leads, but not with long thick speaker leads you wouldn't. But it does what it does, and it performs fairly well, and certainly for the cost it's very good. I think I better turn it off. There was another reason for doing this video. I've just had my internet connection upgraded to fibre, and in the past it was taking me up to 12 hours to upload a video at highest quality, which is no good at all, because when I'm uploading I can't download for some reason, and that was with a 10 megabits download and 0.8 upload speed. So I know I'm on a very basic fibre of which has come live today, of I'm getting 35 down and 9 up, so it should in theory, well, it will all, my upload time will be approximately a tenth of what it was before. And over the last few videos I've had to lower the actual quality slightly so I can go back to full high quality videos again. Not that I could detect much difference between a slightly lower quality, but anyway, I think that's really the end of the video. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.